Hey friends, you know, anybody can jump start a car when you're out in the parking lot and you got thousands of people around you, but what do you do when you're off by yourself and you're isolated and your car won't start? Team man, as always, I'm stoked and pumped up to see you. So I'm out here isolated right now. I got rigs here with me. I got a truck that will not start, made it not start. I'll show you why here in a second. I've got no cell service. I have nobody else around me. All I have is what I have in my truck, and I happen to have an emergency power saver. This is the NPET portable car jump starter. We're going to put this thing to the ultimate test. We're going to talk about some other things along the way, right? What should you have in your truck or in your car, in your trunk, whatever it is that you're operating on a day-to-day basis, so that you can mitigate some of those risks and those hazards that are most likely to come up. So on that note, and we're going to talk about some other vehicle-based emergency supplies that you may want. I'm going to leave a PDF down in the description below for another series of checklists, probably tens of thousands of times a year, potentially thousands of times a day throughout the country. A car needs to be jump started, right? Odds are you may not be isolated, but it's too easy for those of us who like to wander up into the mountains and get off into some public property to end up outside of service area for our cell phones. And in these places, man, there's nobody that we can reach out to come and get us. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves first, right? And that's why we're going to put this thing to the test. And I'm super stoked to look up to it, because we're not even going to use a battery. We're going to see if this thing will jumpstart a car all by itself, right? Sounds like a pretty good test. So what are some other items that you need in your kit bag for your vehicle? Obviously, I mean, you do want some jumper cables, right? And to be honest with you, I carry jumper cables, not necessarily for myself, but for everybody else, right? And as soon as this charger works out to prove itself, it's going to go in the wife's car, and that's where it'll stay. That way, I know that she is in good hands if I can't get to her, right? So a good four-way, I think. I'm going to leave a link down in the description below for yet another PDF that you can download for free. If you want to add some stuff into your kit bag, some different vehicle emergency supplies and some other things along the way, that way you can continue to add to your kit, right? But I think having a four-way for water is critical. Having a pair of change of shoes that are comfortable, a clean pair of socks, having a small kit bag of tools, right? Maybe it's just a small socket set, right? A couple screwdrivers, a couple wrenches, things of this nature. A quart of oil, right? Having a little bit of water with you, having a little bit of food, a little bit of pokey bait, I think is going to go you a long way. So let's stop jib-jabbing. We're going to start getting this thing set up, and let's get to this. Right, so we're going to disconnect the battery here in a second. I'm going to show you what comes in this package. You have the power saver here. This says that it is 12 volt, 1,000 amps. Man, 1,000 amps. And it says the crank, the start current is 500 amps. That's more than enough. That's more than enough to start most every vehicle that's out there. It's got a simple on and off switch on the side, and so we switch this thing on, and it tells us that it's powered here, right? So I haven't charged this thing at all. I haven't even used it once. So we're going to see just how well this thing is. It does have a battery on the back, and you can test it right there, right? So we're going to see. Also in the little box here that it comes with, which is kind of nice. It's good packaging. So you got some instructions, right? And just put this thing in here on this side. On the other side, we have a USB charger and the actual connector here to plug into the power bank and then to connect onto your terminals. Kind of wonky looking, but I mean, see if it's effective. That's at the end of the day, that's all that counts, right? All Alright, so I'm not even going to use a socket set. We're just going to get this dude cranked off here if we can. Using the old Gerber. Multi-tool. Everybody's got to have at least 5 or 6 of these things, right? And no camera tricks on this one. Alright, so this negative is completely off, right? Completely off. We're going to show you that this dude is not working. Right? Ain't no bueno. So now we're going to put this thing to the ultimate test. Right, so to use this thing, the first thing we'll do is get hooked up to our battery terminals. So this thing says that it's fully charged. We'll see here, right? And then make sure that's in off position first. This guy goes in right here. We're gonna put in the on position. On position. All right, we're gonna see how crazy this thing is working. Watch out, bud. Let me get the truck. See if we can get this thing going. Say hi, Riggs. All right. I can hear some stuff happening. I'm gonna see if this is enough juice to start her. I got some serious doubts. We got some bells ringing. Got some radio on. My goodness, man, that is plumb crazy. That is plumb crazy. To think that this thing, without being connected, started the truck. How crazy is that? It says, still says a full charge, but I don't know that I would push it. I don't know that I'd push it. Well, team, I think that's going to do it. Let me know what you think about the idea of having something like this. I'm going to leave a link down in the description below if you want to go check one out, add it to your kit bag. I think you can find these a variety of different places. You certainly don't have to get one just from Amazon, but it is an affiliate link. So, by the way, if you jump to my Amazon store, man, you can find all kinds of stuff for all kinds of kit bags that you might be putting together. I think it's certainly some value added, and I am super impressed. I'd love to get this thing hooked up to some more diagnostic equipment to see just how powerful it is on a full charge, on a 3/4 charge, on a quarter charge, but I don't have that capability. All right, so you got your port to plug in to charge the device itself. You got 2 USB ports to charge any other device you have, maybe it's a phone or whatever the case is, and then actual plug-in for the device to connect to your car battery. And of course you got your flashlight as well. It's not super bright, just probably one LED. But man, I think this thing is pretty dope. I think this thing is going to be great again for somebody like my wife who might be traveling by herself. It's great for me if I'm traveling up into the mountains, throw this thing into the toolbox, and I don't have to worry about getting stranded, being isolated, and having to worry about not having cell service, not being able to call AAA, not being able to call the wife. I don't use AAA, but that's just me. I know a lot of y'all do. So let me know what you think about this thing down in the comments below. We'll keep this conversation rolling. Man, can you believe it that this thing started the truck without the battery? Pretty stinking awesome. Man, I appreciate all you guys. Keep this conversation rolling, and we'll get out of here. Riggs, I think he's about plumb tuckered out, man. Until then, you stay out there and you stay stoked.